So let's come on to the third type, displacement reaction. Now displacement reaction, if you see, I have kept these two and this two together. Under displacement reaction, what is happening, this used to be displaced from here and then it takes its position and this comes over here. That means they used to change their position, and as the position or place is being changed, so such type of reactions are called as displacement reaction. Fine. Now simply if you take the example of these only, now what is happening over here, simply you take, this is one copper sulfate and here I have kept one iron. Fine. Now this is iron, copper, and this is sulfate. Now what happened? This copper is being removed from here. Iron comes and combines with this, and copper is totally separated from iron sulfate. So such type of reactions are known as displacement reaction. But before going further and understand it, explore it with some more examples, let's come on to reactivity series, because metals and non-metals used to be arranged in such series that whichever is much more reactive depending upon their activity or reactivity, these are arranged like this. First of all, we will be talking about the reactivity of metals. K is the symbol for potassium, Na symbol for sodium, Ca calcium, magnesium, aluminium, zinc, iron, nickel, tin, lead, hydrogen, copper, mercury, silver, platinum and gold. Fine. You may remember in a very mnemonic form, केदारनाथ का महंगा आलू जरा फीका नहीं सही पका है, क्यों हो गया आगे पता आओ करें. So this is what, if you remember this much, you may remember the metals reactivity series. So accordingly only, whichever it is just in decreasing order, potassium is highly the most reactive metal, and gold used to be least reactive metal. केदारनाथ का महंगा आलू जरा फीका नहीं सही पका है, क्यों हो गया आगे पता आओ करें. So this is how you need to remember. Now let's come on to explore more examples under displacement reaction. Class 7, if you remember. So we'll take the same example as I explained you. First I have taken iron, Fe, plus I took copper sulfate. So copper normally used to be brown in color, but I don't have that. So you write this copper and then yellow color for sulfate. Okay. Gives rise to, as iron is more reactive from the reactivity series, if you remember, iron is more reactive than copper. So iron will displace copper and will form iron sulfate plus copper. So what will happen? In the result, you will find sulfate will remain like this only, but copper will be displaced from here and will be forming the separate compound or element, and then iron will come and combine with sulfate. Okay, so let's write in detail that or give information, provide information to this reaction. So iron is solid in nature. Let's write its name, iron. Copper sulfate, if you remember, again it used to be blue in color, blue solution it used to be. So just name it copper sulfate. Okay, as it is solution, so what will be it? Aqueous in nature. So our fourth type is double displacement reaction. As the name suggests, displacement, you all know that the position of either metal or non-metal will be changing in the reaction. But as the word double is written over here, that means both positive as well as negative ions will be interchanged. I'm repeating the word interchanged. As you can see, I have kept these 4 to depict orange as barium, green as chlorine, red as sodium, and this yellow one, fruity one, yes, sulfate. Okay, so let's come on to it and be more informative. Barium chloride is aqueous in nature. Sodium sulfate, I'm writing the names also to help you out. Barium chloride, this is sodium sulfate. So now what is happening over here? This Ba, if I simply break it down, Ba used to have charge of 2 positive, Cl as 2 are there, so 2 negative, Na plus 1 and sulfate minus 2. So these 2 will be interchanged and the new component will be, what will happen? Let's write sulfate at sulfate place, chlorine at the place of chlorine. Okay, but what is being interchanged? Sodium will, instead of combining with sulfate, will go to chlorine, and barium instead of combining with chlorine will come to sulfate. And this is how the barium sulfate and sodium chloride are formed. Now remember this sign. If you really remember, this sign shows the formation of PPT, and barium sulfate used to form white colored PPT. Okay, so this is all about double displacement reaction, and let's come on to the 5th type, that is reduction reaction. But instead of writing reduction and the 6th type as oxidation reaction, I'll combine these 2 together and I'll write it as redox reaction. So let's come on to it. So redox reaction, and knowing the property of redox reactions, let's come on to that. How would you be identifying any reaction as oxidation or reduction, and how these 2 reactions combine together? In oxidation, bacha, always remember that oxygen will be combined or gained. So whenever oxygen is combined with any of the element or compound, that will be known as oxidation reaction. Okay, and if there is a removal of hydrogen, that also will be coming under oxidation only. Whereas in reduction reaction, addition of, just opposite of oxidation, addition of hydrogen, as there was removal of hydrogen, so here it is addition of hydrogen, or the second will be again removal of oxygen. So either of the condition will cause reduction reaction to occur. And as I told you, these 2 are combinedly known as redox reactions. But before that, oxidation and reductions are also, formed in the form of electron loss or gaining phenomena. So let's come on to it, that how it forms and what are these agents who supplies it and all. So let's come on to it. Understand this graph. You see that there are 2 compounds. One is compound A and the second is compound B. In the first condition, if you see this A, compound A is having so many electrons, and this it used to lose its electron. In the very second form, you find that there is no electron mentioned over here. So the compound A is losing electrons. As it is losing electrons, so it's being oxidized. And as from compound A the electrons are lost, so this compound A will be known as reducing agent, because here the electrons are being loosed or reduced. As reduced, so it will be known as reducing agent. And here as it is being removed, so it will be known as oxidized. Okay, this compound is oxidized because of reduction reaction. Here the oxidation is taking place, that means removal of electrons are there. In the very second compound, that is B, if you simply see compound B gains electron. Here you can see the addition of electrons. Okay, so what is this B is having? It is being reduced. That means it is having some negative charges. Electrons are being supplied to it. Okay, now this compound, as it is supplying this compound only gains electron. So that's why the compound which is gaining is known as oxidizing agent. Remember which is losing, reducing agent, and which is gaining, oxidizing agent. Fine. And here the reduction is taking place. As gaining is there, reduction opposite. Gaining, reduction, and losing, oxidation. Okay, losing of electrons, oxidation is occurring, and gaining of electrons, reduction is happening. And as these two combine together, redox reaction. Let's learn oxidation and reduction and redox reaction with an example. Check out this reaction here. Just check out this reaction. Here I have taken copper, which is brown in color, and when on heating it combines with oxygen and forms copper oxide, which is black in color. The brown color of copper changes into black colored copper oxide. Okay, here simply if you see copper, what is happening? Addition of oxygen is there with copper. So as with copper, oxygen is being added. So what will happen? Copper is being oxidized over here. Okay. Now, if in the very second equation, with this copper oxide only, if I pass hydrogen gas to it, again what happens? Copper loses its oxygen and forms water molecule, and copper again is, as oxygen is removed from here, so what will be there? Reduced over here. The reduction reaction is taking place. Fine. And oxygen is added to hydrogen, so here will be oxidation. The two types of reactions, copper here, removal of oxygen. As removal of oxygen, so what is being occurring? Here the reduction is taking place. And here addition of oxygen, तो क्या हो रहा है? Here oxidation is taking place. Here addition of oxygen, addition of O2, and here removal of O2. So what I did, I just took copper brown colored, then heated it, and as I heated it, reacted with oxygen and formed black colored copper oxide. Then with copper oxide, I supplied hydrogen gas, and with hydrogen gas, what happened? It simply dissociated, decomposed, and then it formed copper and water. Okay, so here both the reactions, oxidation as well as reduction, is taking place. So such type of reactions are known as redox reaction, in which both the type of oxidation as well as reduction is taking place. Let's come on to another example to understand it in a better way. Let's take this example. I have taken manganese oxide plus hydrochloric acid, and these two combine together. When these two are heated together, manganese chloride plus chlorine and plus water is formed over here. Just check out this reaction here. Mn is combined with O2, manganese oxide, and on product side, if you find here, there is no oxygen at all. That means what is happening? Removal of oxygen. As you know that removal of oxygen, O2 is there. So which type of reaction? Yes, reduction. Okay. Now you come on to the second component of at reactant side. One is hydrogen and the second is chlorine. Okay, hydrogen with chlorine, and as you find at this side, here there is no hydrogen at all, only chlorine is there. So what is happening over here? removal of H2. What is happening? Removal of hydrogen. So as hydrogen is being removed over here, so which type of reaction? Oxidation. And as both oxidation as well as reduction is taking place, so which type of reaction? Yes, definitely. Again, it will be the example of redox reaction. Fine. But as you saw in this graph that compound A, if it gains electron, it used to form, that compound becomes oxidizing agent, and if a compound is, loses electrons, that becomes reducing agent. So just referring to this, if you simply see this reaction, are you finding any gain or lose over here? Just check out once. Here HCl was there. If you simply see in HCl used to, Cl is gaining electron over here and then it forms Cl2. A molecule is being formed. So as HCl is gaining electron, so it will become reducing agent. What will be HCl? It will known as reducing agent. Okay. Now, in MnO2, if you see, MnO2 is known as oxidizing agent. There are not only one criteria is to lose or gain electron, but the compound which supplies oxygen for further reaction is known as oxidizing agent. Okay, agents normally in LIC and all you used to say now, who used to supply us with something, who used to facilitate us with something. So here oxidation is being facilitated and oxygen is facilitated by MnO2. So that's why it is known as oxidizing agent. Here again you may understand one more concept for HCl reducing agent, that hydrogen is being supplied by hydrochloric acid, and as hydrogen is being supplied by this, so what it would be? Reducing agent. Okay. Any doubt up to here, bacha? You just comment if there is any doubt. Okay. Don't forget to do so. Now our next topic will be effect of oxidation in everyday life. I would love to resolve your queries.